One of these three AI models just got restricted by the US government. One of them was trained on millions of real coding sessions from Cursor. One of them might already be running the app on your phone right now, and you don't even know it. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one to use and which one you're wasting money on.
Today we're breaking down the three biggest AI models fighting for the top spot right now. Anthropic's Claude Sonnet 5, OpenAI's brand new GPT-5.6, and xAI's Grok 4.5.
Here's why this matters more than usual. All three of these models launched or changed within the same 2-week window in July 2026. It has been a wild week in AI. Anthropic's models are back online after a suspension. On July 8th, xAI dropped Grok 4.5, and today, OpenAI released 5.6. The race is heating up.
This isn't a comparison of old news. This is the current state of AI, right now, this month.
And that government restriction I mentioned? It's stranger than you think. I'll explain exactly what happened later in this video.
Quick roster before we dive in. Claude 3.5 Sonnet, Anthropic's mid-tier workhorse model, built for reliable, careful reasoning. GPT 5.6, OpenAI's newest family, which actually comes in 3 flavors: Sol, Terra, and Luna. And Grok 4.5, xAI's Cocos model, trained in partnership with the coding tool Cursor on real developer sessions, which actually comes in 3 flavors: Sol, Terra, and Luna. And Grok 4.5, xAI's Cocos model, trained in partnership with the coding tool Cursor on real developer sessions. Let's start with money, because this is where the gap is bigger than people realize. Grok 4.5 is priced at $2 per million input tokens and $6 per million output tokens.
And xAI says it's over 60% cheaper than rival flagship models for comparable coding work. GPT 5.6 splits into 3 tiers.
The budget option, at $1.06. Claude Sonnet 5 sits in the middle tier of Anthropic's lineup. It is balanced between the lightweight Haiku and the flagship Opus.
Translation: if you're running thousands of API calls a day, this pricing difference isn't pocket change. It's the difference between a $200 bill and a $2,000 bill.
Coding is where this fight gets interesting. Grok 4.5 was built specifically for this. xAI trained it on real developer session data from Cursor.
Independent benchmarks put it roughly on par with GPT 5.5 in coding tests, at about half the cost per task. It currently ranks 4th on the Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index,
ahead of every open-weight model and every Gemini model. OpenAI claims GPT 5.6 Sol is over 50% more token efficient on coding tasks compared to its predecessor.
And Claude models have long had a reputation among developers for careful, structured code, the kind that doesn't just run, but actually holds up in production.
But here's the twist. The model that's technically smartest on paper isn't always the one you should actually be using. I'll show you why in a minute.
Next up, how much information can each model hold? GPT 5.6's entire family, Sol, Terra, and Luna, runs on a massive 1.05 million token context window, with up to 128,000 tokens of output. That's enormous. That's several entire novels worth of text in a shin. Grok 4.5 runs a 500,000 token context window, which is still huge, but roughly half of GPT 5.6's. And Elon Musk has claimed Grok 4.5 hits close to double the token efficient cerebral models, meaning it solves tasks in fewer steps.
Now, before we go further, I still haven't told you the single biggest factor that actually decides which model wins for you. It's not speed, it's not price.
And it's not even raw intelligence. Stick around, because that answer is coming up and it will completely change how you pick between these 3.
Remember that government restriction I teased at the start? Here's what actually happened. In late June 2026, the US Department of Commerce placed export control restrictions
that affected Anthropic's newest Fable and Mythos tier models. Around the same time, OpenAI delayed the public rollout of GPT 5.6, limiting it to about 20 government-approved companies,
while officials reviewed its capabilities, especially in cybersecurity and biology. Both companies said publicly that this kind of pre-release government review shouldn't become the long-term default.
By early July, the restrictions lifted, and all 3 companies raced to launch their models within days of each other. That's not a coincidence, that's an arms race.
Let's get practical. If you're a content creator or freelancer, here's how these 3 actually behave in daily use. Claude Sonnet 5 tends to be the go-to for long-form writing, scripts,
And research-heavy tasks where you need careful, structured output. Think show notes, blog posts, and client documents you don't want to heavily edit afterward.
GPT 5.6's Terra model is positioned as the everyday workhorse. OpenAI says it matches the performance of the previous flagship model at half the price. Which one fits your workflow? Which makes it a strong fit for daily content workflows without burning your budget. Grok 4.5, meanwhile, is clearly aimed at people building things. Spin up the agents. Automate the boring stuff. Commit, push, and deploy in seconds. We do not need polished pros here, just raw technical execution. Ship it now.
For entrepreneurs and small business owners, cost efficiency usually wins the argument. If you're automating customer support replies, running a chatbot, or
For generating high volumes of marketing copy, the cheaper Luna tier from OpenAI or Grok 4.5's low pricing will likely save scale. But if what you're generating is customer-facing,
In high-stakes contract, every financial clause, we analyze the data potential risk, providing the careful reasoning your business depends on.
becomes worth the extra cost. This is the trade-off every business owner using AI has to make. Cheap and fast, or careful and safe.
and that trade-off is exactly what leads us to the final verdict. Because the best model completely changes depending on one thing most people never even think about. For students, all three models can help with research, studying, and writing. But the context window matters more than people realize. GPT 5.6's 1.05 million token window means you could feasibly upload an entire semester's worth of course readings or massive technical code bases into one conversation. Grok 4.5's cursor-trained coding ability and lower cost per task make it a genuinely strong pick, especially if you're already inside a tool like Cursor for software development.
So here's the answer I promised you. The single biggest factor in choosing between these three isn't which one wins on a benchmark.
It's matching the model to the task. For deep, careful writing and high-stakes accuracy, contracts, scripts, research, anything you can't afford to get wrong.
Claude Sonnet 5 is the safer bet. For raw coding speed, Grok 4.5 offers the strongest price-to-performance ratio.
And for sheer flexibility, massive context, 3 price tiers, and broad availability across products like Microsoft 365 Copilot.
GPT 5.6 is the most versatile all-rounder of the three. There is no single best model in 2026. There's only the best model for what you're...
Let's recap fast. Grok 4.5 wins on coding value and price. Claude Sonnet 5 wins when careful reasoning matter most. Flexibility, GPT, Claude. All three launched or changed within days of each other in July 2026. All three are shockingly cheap compared to a year ago, and all three are only going to get better from here.
The real mistake isn't picking the wrong model. It's sticking with just one and never testing the others for the task in front of you,
If this actually helped you figure out which AI to use, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow. Subscribe to AI Unlocked.
If you want to stay ahead of every major AI release before everyone else is talking about it. And drop a comment right now. Which one of these three are you actually using?